I just had the most ridiculous series of events. I am going to see if this is streaming. Hold on in a second. It's so funny. I have to look like on. This is so funny. I thought I had this down and now I'm totally don't have it down at all. This is so funny. Hold on. Apologies all around. Okay. Okay, I think I'm live. This is so funny. Hold on. Apologies all around. Okay, we're good. All right, we got this. So, for those of you who were on the live stream, who knows if any, and then you fell off the live stream because I kicked you all off because I wasn't live and then I was, and then my computer stuttered and I accidentally stopped streaming instead of starting streaming. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Anyway, I'm just going to start from scratch. Hello. Today I'm talking about being a small business owner and a mom during summer break. And guess what? I am working more than ever. I swear, any other time of year, I'm working more. This is Craft Leftovers Live, and I'm Kristen M. Roach, artist, author, and entrepreneur. Thanks for joining me. Comment with your questions. Introduce yourself and your creative biz. What is giving you trouble this summer as a parent business owner? And don't forget to like and subscribe then you know when new content drops, which is about once a month or more. So back to what I was talking about. Summer, school-age kids, and working full-time. This is not unique to self-employed people. It's really anybody working full-time. But as a self-employed person, we have a lot of really unique options and flexibility that are available just to us. So today I'm going to cover 3 things. 1, making quality time with your kiddos during the summer when you are working full-time. 2, staffing during the summer when all your staff need summer vacation and you want summer vacation too. And your summer vacation, how to block in some time so you can have some time off with your family and just maybe with yourself this summer. There's still time. There's still hope, and there's always next year. Okay, so full disclosure, a few things. Yeah, I totally have my notes, Crispina French. You know it. Okay, anyway. 1, I have 1 child. So there are options available to me that are financially feasible because it's a multiplier of 1. If you were talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 kids, my neighbors had 12 kids. It maybe is not the best solution for you financially, but so I have 1 kid. I do have lots of friends who have more than 1 kid who are also small business owners. So I'm going to borrow some pro tips from them. And the other thing is that this summer I have full-time care. Now that is something, I have full-time care during most of June, all of July, and 0 of August. So that's something too where in a lot of ways that is possible because I only have 1 child. But it creates its own unique problems when it comes to creating a good summer vacation experience for her, because she doesn't always get to sorry about that. I realized I totally didn't have my mic on, but it seems like it's actually at a good volume, so I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, so because I have full-time care, it's really hard, and I know, oh, boo-hoo, right? Poor me. I get it. It's fine. You don't have to say it. Um, but because I do have full-time care, it's really easy to just take advantage of that and not spend time with her outside of what I normally would during a school year, where she's in school. And in some ways, it is harder for me because during school, I pick her up at when school is out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Tuesday and Thursday afternoons are time we get to spend together during the week. That's like bonus extra time. And I don't necessarily do that during the summer because I have the option for her to just stay in care until 5:30. And that doesn't always feel good either. Sometimes that's just what has to happen. But anyway, so we're going to explore lots of options on cultivating a great experience for her, having a good work-life balance for me, keeping the shop open, etc. Some of the things too that I'm going to mention are really only specific to brick and mortar, and if you're in sales or service industry kind of thing where I guess not like consulting and that kind of thing, these aren't really going to make sense for you, or they're just not going to be the same concerns. Okay. All that being said, at various times I have been a stay-at-home mom while working full-time as a self-employed person, as a self-employed creative professional. And all of this could take like 3 hours, which is why I took notes and why I'm not crafting today, so we can just blaze through it. Especially because I really screwed up getting this live stream started in the beginning. So we're running a little late. I'm going to try to blaze through this in like under a half hour is my idea. So first, we're going to talk about the really fun stuff, the summer fun stuff. What I have learned is that when I'm working full time, it's really all about quality and not quantity. And that might actually be true even if you're not working full time. Like, on the flip side, I have a friend who, small business owner of a really awesome cafe called Lockwood, and a couple other art friends I know who are also full-time artists, and their kids are driving them nuts while not in school because they don't have care, and it is really hard. And because you're around them all the time, and you feel like you're supposed to be cultivating this like great summer experience for them all summer long, and they're constantly bombing you, but you're torn between them and work, and it doesn't feel good. So you're doing things like maybe you're taking to the park, but you're sitting there working on the bench instead of actually playing with them. I mean, it's good they're getting to the park, but is that like a really good bonding moment for the two of you necessarily? I mean, you do what you can, and you just do your best. And so like sometimes I've totally been on that park bench working while my daughter, like this especially happened a lot when I was full time at home. It was like I need to take her to the park, but I need to get this done. You do what you can. Anyway, and then they were feeling really guilty about working while their kids were home. And so we talked about, make them go play by themselves or invite a friend over so they can kind of do their own thing for a while. And then spend intentional time with them where you give them 100% of your attention. And I think that's the same thing for like if you're working full time, like by the time we pick Lucy up, I make dinner, we eat, it's like almost bedtime. And so I block out that hour after dinner, hour before bed that I am like 100% there for her. She wants to do a craft, cool. She wants me to read to her, awesome. Ride her bike, go to the park, whatever. And then I might have to head back to work after that. But for that 1 hour and like dinner time, I am 100% hers. And I would say that's true most days of the week during the school year too. Anyway, so that's it. Like, schedule time block with your kids and just be there with them. Really give them your attention. Put away your phone, turn off, change your status to busy. Let your staff know, hey, this is family time. It's sacred. Don't bug me. Seriously. Nah. And then the other thing is when you're creating these good experiences. So like the other thing too is I made the commitment to Lucy. Wait, hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So the other thing is to make sure, like, what are their summer priorities? Every kid is different, and they're going to have, you might think, by the end of the summer, I want this for them. Well, they might see the summer as this long expanse of time, and that by the time they go back to school, what do they want to have, where do they want to grow, so like, especially Lucy's age, she's 8. A big thing for her is riding her bike and swimming. She has been reluctant to practice her bike because it's not easy for her. There's not a lot of kids in our neighborhoods. There's not this roving pack of kids on bikes like there was when I was growing up in my neighborhood. It's just me and her out there, and hard to it's hard to practice her bike, and she sees that, so she feels like she's bothering us to practice bike, and she's also a little nervous, and so we're not great about practicing the bike. But she actually said that by the end of this summer she wants to be able to ride her bike. The other big thing was she wants to be able to swim. So, I committed to that with her. I was like, those are things we can do. And so after dinner, at least once a week, we go practice her bike. And I've blocked out every Saturday afternoon, or if Saturday is bad weather, Sunday afternoon, her and I go swimming together. We go to the pool for 2 hours. I find that's about just as much as I can handle as an introvert with like this mass of people. That freaks me out. I shouldn't say it freaks me out. I just start feeling really like edgy, like get me out of here. But she's great, and I'm really happy to say she's actually, at this point in the summer, she's dog paddling around. She's able to tread water a little bit. She really wants to get her deep water certification. I'm like, you are not there yet, but at least I know you won't drown if you fall in. And so it's kind of like, what is going to make it an experience where they'll look back on the summer and be like, that was a good summer. And then trade off what you two want to do. Like, again, they're going to have certain ideas about what's a really fun day. So, like, when I asked Lucy where she wants to go, she's like, the pool. And I'm like, okay. But, the flip side there is, what do I want to do during the summer? Because my time is limited. And what's something I want to share with her? What's a passion of mine that I want to bring to her that she might not even know is a thing that she enjoys? So, like, she'll be like, pool or library. Well, that's for both of us. I'm like, art center. Or like, let's go wander in the woods and find weird bugs and run through streams, which it turns out she really loves running through streams. And so, like, trade off what you are doing with your kids. And then this is totally new bullet point. It doesn't always have to be you. We put so much pressure on ourselves as parents that you have to be your kid's champion all the time. Well, I'm lucky enough that I'm in a partnership with a second champion for our kid, where Jason is very involved with our daughter, and it's great because, like, this past weekend, for instance, he took her to the mall on Sunday so I could be in my studio all day working on this guy, my weaving project for the Iowa Arts Council grant that I got. And on Saturday, I took her to the pool so he could spend all day in the garage. So we, like, traded off. She got great time with both of us, but we both got a day where we could really focus and do things that we were passionate about and enjoy. And I think this is sometimes something, I find it often gets overlooked, that sometimes you're working so hard because you love it. I mean, I love my work. I really enjoy Littlewoods. I really enjoy my art practice. I really enjoy craft leftovers. You know, it's hard to pull myself away from it and be a good mom. It's always a struggle because I like it so much. When I'm with Lucy, it's hard for me to pull away from that to work because I really enjoy spending time with her too. I'm just happy wherever I am, I think is kind of what it comes down to. So, let's see. Oh, and it doesn't just have to be a partner. It can also be like grandparents, an aunt. Um, it can be a friend. The friend I mentioned earlier who has the cafe, we actually for the longest time have done like a Tuesday swap, even during, actually, especially during the school year, where one day, one week, she takes the kids and makes dinner, and they get some awesome fun playtime. And then the next week, I take the kids and make dinner. And that allows us to get some extra, like, office time every other week that we wouldn't normally have in our schedule. And we can do self care, we can organize, we can do planning, we can do taxes, whatever, wherever we really need to just have some focus time that isn't normally in our schedule. Because it's like we're not going to be working in our shops or cafe because it's it doesn't always happen, right? Like stuff comes up for me, stuff comes up for her, and so we don't plan on it happening, but it usually does, and so it gives us this really nice bonus afternoon of focus time, and then we go and we all have dinner together, and it's great. And so like your friends can be there for your kids and spend time with them and help craft that like wonderful summer experience, even if you need to be at work. Or another case in point of that is like one of the things Lucy loves that happened this summer is she got to have a slumber party with her friends, and they played Minecraft and they got to stay up till 10:30, and it was great. And they had root beers and whatever else happened, and it was so wonderful. And the thing was, that was such a stress relief for us because we were hosting a late night or like an evening event at Littlewoods for the summer solstice. And yeah, we could have made it work. We could have, we've done it before. I mean, she's grown up at the store, and we have a pretty nice office situation there too, where we've got a couch and stuff. Like, yeah, we could have put her together, we could have put her to bed on the couch in the office, and it would have been fine. But that kind of sucks for her, like that's not really a fun summer moment there. Sleep over at a friend's house, absolutely. And the thing is that like as much as you'd be willing to do these things for your friends, they are absolutely willing to do these things for you. You just have to ask. And yeah, so it doesn't have to just be you cultivating this fun summer experience for your kids. We have full-time care. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to go back to that in a second. Okay, so then the other thing that I love to do, which is so funny because I used to make craft kits for craft leftovers all the time. And now I'm like, you should buy kits, but not for me because I don't sell them anymore. But kits are a great way to make summer memories. Like, there's all kinds of fun boxes. You can buy like subscription boxes where you get once a month, but there's lots of a la carte options. Or, yeah, I hate to recommend it, but it's true. Like Target has a lot of really great kits. And so like for us, we have it. For us, honestly, because people know that I'm crafty and Lucy's crafty, every birthday and Christmas and at random times, we get kits as gifts, which is wonderful. And so I put them all together in a closet. And when we're feeling like we're not sure what to do, we just look at the kit box and grab one out that looks great that we have, the time that we need for it. And the other thing is like you don't have to do it all at once. For instance, we did a tie-dye kit, and so like I picked her up a little early and we went to Goodwill before dinner, bought a bunch of shirts, got them kind of washed and prepped, and then the next day is when we actually tie-dyed them. And then the next day we rinsed them out. So it was like a 3-day thing that we took like an hour chunk each time. It was so fun. She's actually a lot better at it than I was, which was really funny. And there's just like a million 1 hour projects, activities with kids age, fill in the blank. Pinterest is a great place to look for those, where you can look around and you can reimagine the craft supplies that you already have into things that are age appropriate for your kids that you could make with them in like an hour or less, because it's like a good block of time for their attention span, but it's also good for you if you're really struggling to manage your workload. Um, and again, it gives them a really good quality experience. It doesn't have to take the whole day. Okay, so then maybe it will take a full hour. Oh my gosh. Staffing when on summer vacation. This one is so hard because as a small business owner, it's easy to let your staff's schedule 100% dictate your schedule. I seriously forget that it's my business sometimes and I'm the business owner. So much I feel like a cog in a machine, which is hilarious. It's like I've built my own weird machine. Anyway, whatever. Don't forget it's your business and you can do things that make sense for your schedule and for your crew. Like sometimes too, you can really forget that it's your business and that being an independent business owner, one of the strengths is that like you get to set your own schedule, like your own shop hours. You don't have to be open every day with the same hours as everyone else on your block. And that can be tricky because I don't know, I feel a lot of social pressure to like be open at certain times. And so like even during the school year, one of the things that we've done is we are no longer open on Sundays. We were for a really long time and it worked. And honestly, revenue was good that day. But inevitably, I would have to cover Sundays at least twice a month, at least. Sometimes 3 or 4 times a month. And I just can't do that. I cannot work 7 days a week. I have to have a day off at home to not leave my house, to spend time in the garden, to do laundry, to just have quiet and not be responsible for a company and clients and all that jazz. Like I need a day every week. And so like the only way to guarantee that to happen was just be like, I'm sorry you guys, we cannot be open on Sundays anymore. And our customers adjusted. They kind of just come in on other days of the week. And yes, we do miss out on, I would say, tourism sales most, where people who are just visiting, they're not going to be there the next day to stop by it. Maybe we'll go back to it eventually, but that's just not where we are right now. And it was more important for me to have Sundays off than to have that marginal revenue bump. Then and it turned out that my employees also enjoy that. One of the things we do at Littlewoods is we actually make sure that everybody has at least 2 days off a week together every week. So if you work, a Saturday, you're going to be getting Monday, Sunday off kind of thing. If you work Monday through Friday, you get Saturday, Sunday. So I hold that for my staff. So for me, I need at least Sunday. I think that's fair. So yeah, don't forget it's your business. You can do whatever you want within reason, as long as it doesn't impact revenue too much. So a summer schedule is a real thing. And there's a reason why a lot of businesses limit their schedule during the summer. It's not just that customers aren't coming in during certain hours during the summer, you're having lower traffic. It can also be that you have shorter staff. Like you just don't have as many people working during the summer as you do the rest of the year. So if you trim hours at the beginning or the end of shifts, you can consolidate some shifts and make it feasible to keep the store open and staffed in a way that's not going to impact customer service, and also have a more flexible time off policy. We really try not to refuse time off, which can lead to some tricky situations, and it does lead to me having to jump in and help out more often. So, like, one of the things that happened this summer is one of our employees got the opportunity to go to Germany for like 3 weeks on someone else's dime. Like, how freaking awesome. And, like, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say, like, you can't go to Europe and, like, n- no. Like, they're in their early 20s. Like, that's what it's about. Absolutely. Be gone for 3 weeks. I'll see you when you get back. I'm so excited for you, right? Like, that's going to be my response. And, like, don't, and I'll jump in to help out to make that happen. On the flip side, they do the same thing for me. So we'll get to that next. And then another strategy you can use is a lot of times people just put in time off requests and be like, I think I want to take a vacation here, and you've already got people scheduled for time off during that time. It's okay to ask them if they can move their vacation because they might be completely flexible. Some things like you're traveling with family and it's very set, like, well, they rented a house and ticket and blah blah blah, it's already bought, I just got to show up. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. But sometimes it's like, oh, well, yeah, my friends and I could just go the next weekend, that's no big deal. Or we could shift it to like, like a different set of days a little bit to accommodate it, so you're staggering vacations versus everybody taking time off all at once. Now, it does sometimes happen everybody takes time off all at once. And so your options when that is the case is you can work it all yourself. I've done that. You can also do a shutdown. And this is something that another one of my friends has done. And I see a lot of restaurants here in Ames, which is a college town, so we're like a lot slower in the restaurant business during the summer. They'll just shut their doors for 2 weeks, put up a sign, see you later, and everybody takes a vacation at the same time. If that makes sense for you, go for it. I think one thing to keep in mind, especially when employing like part-time help, it can really negatively impact your employee's financial situation to do a shutdown that's unpaid. So you might want to consider that and check in with them before. Like, don't just announce it and think you're giving them a gift, because it might not be a gift. The other thing to keep in mind too, or another option in that scenario, is like, say you do a week shutdown, but you could also have a list of things that need to get done while the shop is shut down that you don't have to be there for, that they can come in and do. That would only make sense to do when the shop is shut down, like defrost all the freezers, do a really deep clean, organize, repair stuff, build things, whatever. And so that can be another option that I know I've seen some friends of mine employ too in their shops, to kind of make it so it's not a 100% shutdown and there's some option to get some hours while closed to the public. You might be thinking, like, I have all this staff leaving. What do I, like, how do I manage the workload of all this? Because now I'm potentially doing my job and another person's job and maybe somebody else's job too. There is this really great book called Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz. And it's all about clockworking your business so that way it can run itself. I've found this very helpful for increasing the duration of time I can take off from the business, as well as making it less stressful when key employees go on vacation themselves. So, for instance, the T-bar manager at Littlewoods just had a 2-week vacation that ended up being a little bit extended. And it was really helpful to be able to go through the process and sit down with them before their vacation and, where are the blocks? Where are the holes? What am I responsible for while you're away? What can we delegate to other staff, etc. And now, as I'm approaching my vacation, we're doing the same process for me. A lot of my work we've made systems for, and so I've become more and more responsible for product development, wholesale client contacts, initiating contact with wholesale clients, where day-to-day operations I'm less responsible for. So if I go on vacation, no one's having to scramble to cover my hours, but there are still a lot of critical things that I'm responsible for each week, mostly ordering, bookkeeping, payroll, taxes, that kind of stuff, that I have to make sure are all taken care of before I leave. So that gets us to your summer vacation. This is thing 3. One of the reasons I'm so willing to work to cover my employees' vacations is, like I said before, I love my job. And honestly, getting to get out of the office and work the T-bar is really fun. I don't mind it. So I'm willing to, and I enjoy it. And they return the favor for me. So I actually take 2 vacations each summer. One is like this last weekend, I just ended a mini vacation. It was it was a long weekend. And I was able to do things like go to the Des Moines Arts Center. Jason and I got to take a really long bike ride. We had lots of really fun quality time with Lucy. And we just spent time at home kind of recharging our batteries because we had just spent the previous 4, I think it was about 6 weeks that we were working those 6-day weeks, oftentimes open to close. And it was really just starting to wear us both down, I think. And we needed a break. And so that's that. And we do that in early July. Usually we kind of scooted in between vacation, our staff's vacations at a midpoint in the summer. And then going back to having care, we have care full-time for June and July. We do not come that first week in August, and school doesn't start until the 22nd. So we decided to schedule our time off to align with not having daycare, so we wouldn't have to find alternate solutions, or Lucy would just be bored out of her mind for 3 weeks straight. And after a couple years now of following Mike Michalowicz's Clockwork, your business book formula, etc., we've extended out our vacation time from, at first we did 1 week, then it was 2 weeks, and this year we're trying 3 weeks. We're going to see where our blocks are, and the huge goal for us is to be able to actually take a full month off next year where we can do a combination of 2 weeks kind of working remotely and 2 weeks straight up just out of the country. Well, if that's an option. So, let's see. And this year we had been planning on going for a longer road trip, but our basement has been flooding. This space that I'm in right now actually got 4 inches over an 8-hour period in it, and we had to wet vac it all out before things got moldy. It was a mess. So we're a little concerned about leaving the house for a long time until that gets fixed. So we're not really going anywhere with this vacation, but hopefully we'll do some camping and some other fun things, as long as it doesn't rain. And next year, though, France. Like I said, if it can happen. Let's see. I think that's it. So like it's kind of this big compromise, right? Like you compromise with yourself, with your staff, with the public, and with your kid, you know? And you're just open and honest about it. I think for me the biggest takeaways is it's all about quality over quantity. It's all about being flexible with your staffing schedule and seeing how you can stagger things or like what makes sense for you guys. And it doesn't necessarily have to be what makes sense for your neighbors. And that it's important that you get a break too to recharge during this time of year, because as intense as the summer is and you might be working quite a lot in retail anyway, especially in tea, the fall and the winter, that is working flat out, you know, which is wonderful. But it's like product launches and new tea debuts and stuff is due, and then there's taxes and all this other intensity. So, like, you need to take a break and recharge too. And you need to spend time with your family. So, don't be afraid to talk to your staff or the people helping you, the people in your lives that can help you about how to make having a break possible. I wrote a conclusion. I was on a ball. So, for those of you out there, how do you manage your summers? Like I said, this is what works for me and my family, which is unique to us and our very specific situation. How do you manage your summers? Do you sign up for camps? Do you swap care with friends? My other friend, because of the number of kids and the way their schedule works, a nanny actually made more sense and was the most economic choice for them. Do you shift your workload and schedule to spend more time with your kids? Does your kid come to work with you? I mean, that's every Saturday for us that we work. Lucy's there right along with us. What's your favorite summer memory as a kid? And that can be a seed of inspiration for how to spend time with your kids this summer. And what's your favorite summer memory as a parent? Because it's not just about them. It's also about storing up awesome summer memories with your children that you can treasure as they grow older. So for me, it's a combo. Like working open to close Mondays, we reworked Lucy's schedule so she would go to martial arts once a week on Monday evenings while I close the shop. Like I mentioned, friends have had Lucy sleep over when we host a late night event. And for her, it was a huge and exciting, fun thing. And for us, it was a huge stress relief. And, you know, like, it's all about compromise, flexibility, and just, you know, you do the best you can and be patient with yourself and be patient with them. I think that's it for today. We're going to end it right here. And sorry again for the crazy mess up getting the stream started and like blowing up the link that now doesn't work. Oh, I hope people found it after I got started. We'll see. That's it for today. So, last notes, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and leave a review. Check out the show notes in a couple days here, and you can sign up for the newsletter to get more resourceful craftiness right to your to your inbox.